Almost there. The Royal Rumble awaits, and I honestly couldn't tell you who was going to win it. Last year, it was obvious who was going to win when The Rock beat CM Punk to end his run as champion, which, in my opinion, was a bad idea as it deprived us of a meaningful streak versus streak match. But the past is the past. This time, it's probably not so clear cut. There are some favourites, though the main one, of course, being Daniel Bryan, seeing as he split from the Wyatts a little too early for my liking, as you sort of ruined the Wyatt family, because now you can't make them go after Daniel Bryan again and risk dragging out the storyline longer than it has to be. But at the same time, you've made them look like ineffectual villains. If Daniel Bryan wins, you'll have a compelling storyline with either Randy Orton or John Cena. Probably more so with Randy Orton, for the simple fact that booking the ultimate good guy versus the ultimate bad guy will be easier than booking against John Cena. If Bryan Danielson wins a Royal Rumble, then you can bet that when he inevitably wins at WrestleMania, the pop he'll receive will be huge. You can't deny how popular he is with the crowd every week chanting yes, 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 and that is reason enough for him to win the Royal Rumble in my eyes, along with the fact that he puts on great matches after great matches after great matches. The downside of him winning is, does that mean they'll make him be the same character? Because let's face it, the guy has been dumbed down to yes catchphrases and kicks. One of my favourite matches of recent years is CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan at Over the Limit, I think it was, for the WWE Championship, because they put on a great show where you got to see improvisation, new moves, and this was at a time when the surfboard was still relatively new in Daniel Bryan's arsenal. So when you got to see it, it was still kind of a surprise. His microphone skills aren't really the best, but I think that's more down to his character role, and I hate for Daniel Bryan to go the same way as John Cena becomes such a stale character. The next favourite on my list of winners to the Rumble is Batista. If Orton retains his championship, you have the potential for an Evolution storyline involving Randy Orton and Triple H. It also wouldn't be that hard to bring back the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, to add spice to the WrestleMania storyline between the lot. You're also bringing back a fan favourite, so it's guaranteed that the storyline will be of interest to all sorts of fans. The only thing I suppose is stopping me from thinking that he'll win it is how Alberto Del Rio has been calling him out in recent weeks, which means a feud between the two may be happening. I think it would somewhat bother me if Batista won, because I would question what exactly the direction they're going with Daniel Bryan, because if they keep bringing back names from the past, how exactly will they create stars for the future? I ask myself this: if in 10 years time any of the current roster came back to have another shot at the WWE, Brock Lesnar, The Rock, Batista style, who exactly would you genuinely be excited for? CM Punk? Yes. Daniel Bryan? Yes. John Cena? Yes. And Randy Orton are somewhat the main event scene already, but past that, Alberto Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, The Miz? No. Back to the point, Batista I think had a decent chance of winning, but I don't think he'll win unless someone eliminates Daniel Bryan. Maybe Bray Wyatt? CM Punk is another potential winner, especially as he's never won a Royal Rumble before, I think. Could be wrong. And headlining WrestleMania would allow him to return to the main event scene, as quite frankly, he's someone that should pretty much be in the main events, as he pretty much has it all. He has good matches, great mic skills, and star power. He won't win though. Why? Because he's just come off a 434, I think it was that much, day reign as champion, and let's face it, his legacy is pretty much certified. CM Punk, I think, is someone that doesn't need championships anymore. He's become so big that it's probably better to use him right now in interesting storylines that don't involve championships, so he can entertain and at the same time get other people over. I mean, which is what he's done with the Shield. Don't get me wrong, the Shield are great and pretty popular, but this feud with CM Punk could really help to flesh them out as individual characters, which will help when they inevitably split up. There's one other reason why I don't think he'll win, and I'll explain that later. Finally, Roman Reigns is one name I've seen bandied around, and it's hard to see why not. He's in the midst of a great push, he's constantly booked strongly, so having him win would surely be a great idea, right? No. Remember Ryback? Yes. Ryback was pretty much worthless now as a result of him being pushed to the main event scene too quickly, and you really don't want to be making that mistake again too soon. While Roman Reigns no doubt had that presence about him, he still isn't that great on the microphone, and I feel he'd be better suited with a face manager on the level of Paul Heyman. In fact, Roman Reigns would make a great Paul Heyman guy, but with Reigns steadily getting cheers, I think Reigns would work better as a no-nonsense tough guy with a devastating spear that the crowd can get behind. The other reason Roman Reigns won't win the Royal Rumble is tied into why CM Punk won't either. CM Punk is clearly heading for a showdown with the Authority, most likely Triple H, so it's safe to say that past the Royal Rumble his saga with the Shield is probably over, which means the Shield are probably going to need a new story, and there's probably a story in one of the Shield members eliminated or getting eliminated by one of their own. So what better story is there than the three of them all having a feud with each other? So those are pretty much the four names that I've seen bandied around as the potential winners to the Royal Rumble. I'd probably say the most likely is Daniel Bryan, but recent developments have actually taken place. So he's now had a concussion, and I'm actually recording this before Raw, so I've no idea what's going to happen on Raw. So I've no idea whether Del Rio will actually attack Batista on his return or whatnot, but we'll just have to wait and see. Some final notes for the Royal Rumble though. I'm all for past names returning. It makes it great. Seeing Chris Jericho return at number 2 seriously was huge and epic, and him lasting like 35 minutes into the match was amazing. However, when it comes to the final names, that's when the Royal Rumble heats up. That is when the the excitement of seeing who's gonna make it to the end. That is when it's exciting. However, hearing we're a 3-man band come on for the 3rd time in the Royal Rumble, when Jinder Mahal or whatever it was, when he entered at number 27 or whatever it was, really makes the whole thing anticlimactic because he's clearly not going to win it. And during those final numbers is where I feel that they should be bringing out the big names of people that maybe they might not win it, but they're still big names regardless. So they're still dark horses, and of course number 30 should always be someone, you know, big that has a chance of winning it. Last year was Ryback, who clearly was never going to win it, but you know, there you go. Anyway, I'm actually really looking forward to the Royal Rumble. It's one of the few gimmick pay-per-views that I really look forward to. Survivor Series would have been the other one, but seeing as they changed it, it's kind of like going nowhere. Anyway, that's all for this video. Take care of yourselves, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then it's very much appreciated. Take care of yourselves, and bye.